Okay, we've opened up GIMP and we're ready to start. So we've opened up GIMP, we've imported our brushes for our graffiti, and we have our graffiti words that we created in Graffiti Creator. So if we have all those things, we're now ready. So I am going to add a picture of our blank wall. So File, Open, and you're going to open the picture that you have of your blank wall that you took in your town. And mine, I saved it on my desktop. I'll just go for, what do I have, 2 brick walls on here? Well, not that one, that's a finished one. So brick wall. We have this here, and what we are going to want to do is we want 2 duplicate layers of this brick wall. So if you look in your toolbox, which should have popped open, you will click on these stacks here. These are layers. So right now what we want to do with this background is we want to duplicate it. We want 2 of the same one. So then let's click down here on the duplicate layer. Now you have 2 layers of the same brick wall, and we are going to hide the top layer. Okay. Now what we're also going to do is we are going to import on here the picture of the graffiti that we have. Now my picture of my wall I think is going to be fairly small. Yours should be much bigger than this, but we'll have to work with what I've got. So now what I want to do is File, Open as Layer, and I want to say Open as Layer because then it will open the next picture still within this file folder that I have here, within this working file. So Open as Layers, and I'm going to go to my desktop because that is where I saved my graffiti, which I called Swift Current. There it is. Now you'll notice on mine, my wall and my graffiti art are 2 different sizes. So what I have to do with this layer is I have to scale down this layer. So I'm going to go into Scale Layer. And so I want to make, here's the width is 785 and the height is 170. Well, I think it's probably doubly big, so let me just approximately half this and see what happens. If I change the width, it'll automatically change the height. And let's scale that and see what happens. Ah, that's much better. Okay, so you may have to do that with yours as well if yours doesn't do the right thing, if it's too big on top of the wall. Now with this Swift Current layer, you'll notice we still have that white background. We have to get rid of that white background. So what we're going to click on is Layer, Transparency, Add Alpha Channel. Okay. Now we're going to click on the Fuzzy Select tool and click anywhere on the white. And it will outline that for us. And then once we've done that, we just simply press Delete. And now I have a transparent background. Okay? So if I want to go back to viewing this whole thing, we'll just say select none, and then I can just go back to viewing my whole picture here. Now I have Swift Current in the wrong order, or my graffiti logo, so I just want to move that back down. I want this one copy of the brick always to be on top. We could move it later if we wanted, but it needs to be on top in the final area anyway, making sure that it's invisible. So I have the Swift Current, and actually what I'm going to do for Swift Current is I'm actually going to duplicate this layer. So I want this one duplicated. So I'll highlight that, and we're going to press our duplicate tool again. And then actually what I want is I want another layer. I want one layer for now. I want one other layer, and that layer is going to be my paint splatter layer. So I am going to create a new layer, which is down here. And I'll call this Splatter. And Transparency, and OK. I put it in the wrong order for me. I want them underneath my 2 Swift Currents, so I put it under there. So what we're going to do on this splatter layer is this is where your ink brushes that we imported, because in the GIMP as it comes, it doesn't have every brush that you'll want. You may have to import some. So when we click on our paintbrush tool over here, and actually we'll have to click on the tool options dialog there, just so we can get more here. we're going to click on our brushes, and you'll see all of the different brush types you have in there. And you may have imported more than that because you found some more great ones. Perfect. So then what you can do is you will just click on one of these, say I want that kind of a paint splatter. It's in black right now. I'm going to change it to, oh, what do I want? I'll go to yellow. Now when I go over there, you can kind of see the outline on there. This is a really big splatter compared to how big my picture is. So before I even put that there, I'm just going to scale this splatter down. Oh, still a little bit big for me. Maybe a little too small. Did I go too far? There we go. And as long as my layers are in the right order, I can put this splatter anywhere I want in the background on there, right? So then maybe I want to change up my splatter, and I just want to have some of this other effects going on. Maybe I don't want it in yellow. Maybe I want it in, oh, what'll I do that might go with those ones there? Let's go, I don't know if an orange would be any good or not. Let's try maybe some red. Oh, and again, that's a bit of a, maybe it's okay splatter. Okay, and that is how you can get your background splatter. Now, right now, it's okay. I mean, we get the idea of what you're trying to do on the wall, but if we really want to make this look like it belongs on the wall, we're going to go back to our layers. We're going to duplicate the splatter layer. So we've got 6 layers now, okay? We've got the background on top, the 2 swift current layers, or your graffiti layers, your 2 splatter layers, and your background. Okay, so what you're going to do to the top layer of graffiti, and you'll do this exact same step to your top layer of splatter as well. So what we're going to do is we're on that top layer, and you are going to go into change that mode from normal to grain merge, and we're going to change the opacity to, I don't know, 40, 45, something like that. And we're going to change the bottom swift current. We're going to change that mode into color, just down at the bottom. And its opacity can still be 100%. We'll still be okay there. And then we are going to do the exact same things to the splatter copy. So top splatter copy, we're going to change the mode to grain merge. And we are going to set the transparency at around 45, something like that. And the splatter that's underneath it, we're going to change that to color. And we're going to have the opacity still at the 100. And we're good to go there. And then, let's see, what's our last step that we have to do, or second last step? We're going to go back up to the background copy, and we are going to click on, we're going to view it now because it's hidden. Okay, and it looks like everything's disappeared, but it's just because the background copy is on top. And then with that background copy again, we are going to set that layer to grain merge. And then you can fiddle around with the opacity in here. How see-through do you want it? That, I mean, you want to be able to see the bricks so that it looks like it's part of it. You can fiddle around with this in here to see. You can see if we go too far. Well, on this one actually it doesn't look bad to have my opacity set a little bit higher. But you can fiddle around in here to see what looks good for your bricks in there. And then you've got it. You'll have your splatter with your logo on it. Again, your logo could look much different than this. There were lots of options. And if you want to create graffiti with word art in Word, that's just fine. I just showed you one way to do the graffiti one. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to flatten this image. So we're going to say Image, Flatten Image, and you'll see what happens is it made that whole image into one layer. It merged them all in together. And then you've got it. You're totally done. Now, when you are saving this picture, if you just simply do File, Save, pardon me, we'll do File. It'll just save it as the original one, right? It'll save it as your brick wall that was on your desktop, the original brick wall that you uploaded. which is fine, but I also want you, which this brick wall, this is what you're going to be uploading to your blog. What I want you to send me, I want to see your JPEG on your blog, but I also want you to send me, you're going to have to select file type by extension. I want you to send me the XCF, the GIMP XCF image. I want you to send me that as well in the working file. So I don't just want to see the JPEG up there. I want you to send me in a separate file. Send it through me, either through Moodle or in the Gmail, the XCF file. Okay, so save that and make sure you've saved it on your desktop somewhere you can find it, and send me the XCF file. Okay.